put a small coating of spot putty on. Usually you only use spot putty over primer, because it basically is very thick primer. But since it's a little wheel and I'm doing things my way, I'm putting a little bit of the spot putty right here over the bare paint. And what I'm trying to do is take little spots that I have, little tiny depressions or nicks, you know, things wheels normally get, and I will try and fill them in with the spot putty. And then when I go to sand this off, I'm going to use 2000 wet sand. I should use about 1000, but 2000 doesn't matter as long as you go slow. But you want to keep your sandpaper on the putty itself and not the paint around it. And then you want to get it smooth where you can't feel it, or maybe all you can see is the depression or the little nick or whatever that was in here after this is dried. And then when I get it where I want it, I will, and I have a little bit on this side too, when I get the spot putty where I want it, then I'll put on a final 2 coats of paint. Now, if I don't have enough putty on, which is normal, it may take you 2 or 3 times to put on the right amount of putty. It's good practice, but you don't want to put it on thick, because the lacquer has to come out of the putty, but if the putty's on too thick, then it gets trapped inside there, and if it does that, it'll crack. That's why you only want to go, spot putty is just for spots. It's not to fill in caverns. So I'm going to go put this on my heater, and then get a little wet sandpaper and sand it down to where I like it, and we'll go from there. I'm taking the spot putty and I've sanded it down. You can see where it gets inside the cracks, but it shouldn't go where all you see is the crack or the little hole or divot that it goes in. And I put a little bit more big stretch on because it shrank a little too much, and I'm just experimenting. I don't know if it'll work, but I put a little bit more on to make it smoother. So I fixed all these little problems with the paint eating it on itself, and I'll wait till tomorrow. I'll go on the other side here. You can see where I've filled in little problems here and little problems right there and over here. And then tomorrow I'll come back and give it 2 good shots of my engine enamel. Then I will, when I'm sure it's right, then I'll let this dry really well, and then I'll start the clear coat, the tough clear coat for the. I'm trying to make the top of the spokes look like this right here, where I've already put the spot putty, or not, I mean the caulking here and right down here, along here. And also the caulking has also been put, as you can see, it's been put inside here. And then it's been sprayed gold. And it worked pretty good down in there. It just looks like it's all welded together. And I put a little bit of caulking all the way around here, all the way along this weld on the bottom. And a little bit more caulking on the tri-spokes. I always like to experiment with little things if I can, you know, and make them look better. If the wheel looks one piece, then it looks a lot better than if it's spot welded and Mickey Mouse and it's got a lot of dirt spots on it. The next thing I'll do is I'll take this apart, this gold, and you can see that between this gold here and this gold, the wheel gold is a little bit copper, a little bit darker. That's okay. And then it'll get darker. I'll take this apart, take everything off of it. I'll sand this down, and then I'll paint it the engine color too. But you don't want to get any paint inside where the bearing goes here, or where the shaft goes, right down through there. Other than that, it's fine. You want to, this area right here, you want to sand it really, really good, because that's the place where the paint tends to come off, right there. And then these are a little tricky to paint too, because you've got to get in these areas here, 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 here. There's like about 10,000 different angles right here. So I'll let that sit until tomorrow. It's really coming along nice for a 19-year-old wheel. I think it's going to look really pretty when I get it done. Okay.